Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, part two of a series that we started last Monday night with MWR Financial Live. We're going live again on Thursday night to continue this conversation to help you understand how you can recession-proof not only your business, but your life in this time of crisis as we embark on the next stage of this recession as our economy continues to move through. So once again, thank you so much for being on the platform tonight. Listen, let's load up this platform. I hope that you've done exactly what I've done. I've shared it with everybody and their mother to help them understand where we are and the fact that MWR Financial is bringing the solution to the table that can save this American economy. No question about it. So once again, send out those last minute texts, make those last minute phone calls. Let's see who's joining us on the platform tonight. We want to load this platform up. Once again, send this information to as many people as you can tonight. Reach them, help them understand that there is a solution, that this suffering has to end, and we're sounding the alarm and we're bringing the solutions to the table. Starting with Arizona, this young lady, Andrea, welcome to the platform. Mr. Banks out of Knightdale, North Carolina. Miss Lovey Sullivan, Tampa, Florida. Guys, who else is there? Miss Lynn Gibbs, welcome to the platform. Phoenix, Arizona. All right, Marvin McGee, Columbia, South Carolina. Welcome to the platform, sir. Miss Cassandra Wooten, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Atlanta's in the house. Cashflow, Christy Howard. Welcome to the platform. We've got Miss Patterson out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Welcome to the platform, guys. Mr. Greer, good to see you, sir. College Park, Georgia. Welcome to the platform, sir. El Paso, Texas. Miss Crockett, welcome to the platform. Benita out of Indiana, welcome to the platform. Once again, guys, who else we have? Rochelle there out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Welcome to the platform. Jacksonville, Florida. Alicia, welcome to the platform. All right, Durham, North Carolina. Miss Parks, welcome to the platform. Who else is out there? Robert Clay, Decatur, Georgia. Welcome to the platform, sir. Always a pleasure to see you. Jonathan Jones, Douglas, Georgia. Welcome to the platform, guys. Let's get a few more in before we transition over. My good friend, Mr. Benjamin McCray, Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome to the platform. Trevor Thompson. All right, welcome, Coach T. Welcome to the platform, sir. Hinesville, Georgia. All right, how are you, sir? Clovell, welcome to the platform. Erica out of Georgia. Once again, Alvin Turner and Dr. Turner, Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to the platform. Guys, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, my name is Gerald W. Parker. I'm honored to be on this platform with you tonight, but to bring this information, a continuation of what we started with this series on Monday night, talking about where we are as a country as it relates to the economy and how MWR Financial can have such a positive impact to help people overcome the challenges that we are currently facing and about to face even more. So the fix is in. We bring the solution to the table. It is my pleasure and privilege to bring to the platform the brainchild behind all of this that helped develop and put all of this together, that created this opportunity for us to win, to finally get a real shot at winning. We're going to dig deep tonight. So I want you to do like I've done. Grab a pencil and paper because you're going to want to take some notes on this. You don't want to miss anything. And before our speaker comes up, once again, send out those last minute texts, make those last minute calls. I've reached out to everybody in my family. I've reached out to everybody in my phone today because they need to hear and see what we're bringing to the table. Because again, this is going to affect everyone. It won't leave anybody out, but we have a solution to help people overcome. So without further ado, the gentleman that I'm about to bring to the platform, you guys have heard from him before. You heard from him last Monday night as he sounded the alarm and talked about the issues that we face as the economy, but also talked about the positive as it relates to MWR Financial. He's developed this concept out of concern for the average everyday person. That's been his mantra as long as I've known him, for 17 plus years. I've never met a man so committed to helping the average everyday person win. He puts his money where his mouth is. He develops a platform. He brings MWR Financial to the fold and gives the average everyday person a real shot at winning. I've taken full advantage of what he's developed. Tens of thousands of people across the country have done the exact same thing. Now, he's been in this space, financial services, for nearly 30 years. So he understands it. He's seen the ups and downs of markets. He's seen these trends. He knows what's coming. He knows what's happening. He knows how to overcome them because, again, he's helped create the solution. But he's built 4 multi-million-dollar companies. So he's pretty smart about how to do this, right? So we're going to take his advice and take his lead and follow him as we continue to build out MWR Financial and be the saving grace for this economy. No question about it. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome to the platform the CEO and founder of MWR Financial, my good friend, Mr. Brian T. House.
Hey, Gerald, how are you, buddy?
If it gets any better, my friend, I won't be able to stand it. Thank you again for your commitment and all that you bring to the table as it relates to giving the average everyday person a chance to win. Now, last week earlier during the week on Monday, you talked about where we are as an economy. You've seen these indicators. You're meeting and talking with professionals in those spaces every single day. And so we know something is coming and it's not going to be good for everyone. So we've got to help people position themselves. But you talked about those bullet points, but also you kind of gave us the sense that MWR Financial, with what you've created and what it brings to the table, is the way around that. We can miss that bullet. We can dodge it if we prepare ourselves right now.
Exactly, Gerald. And I'll tell you what, Gerald, you know me, you know my faith, you know everything about me from a business perspective. We've been friends for a really long time, and I'll be brutally honest. I really feel like the timing of what's happening right now in our economy, I feel like it's why I was called to start this business. I just feel that way, and just because there's so many people out there that are suffering, they're struggling. Things are progressively getting worse, and it's happening faster than I think we kind of expected, or what's been portrayed to us. Maybe let's just put it that way. It seems like everything kind of gets downplayed, especially when we're going into an election time and stuff. And the reality is, people are hurting, and when there is adversity like this, there's also an opportunity. And we're very blessed to be in a position that we're able to help people remedy all of the challenges that are being created by inflation, by a recession, by all the things that I'm getting ready to mention to you right now. And what I wanted to do, because this is the second part of what we didn't have time, because I got really windy on Monday going through this and elaborating. And you know how I can get, Gerald, I get really passionate about what we're talking about because I just want people to get it. I want them to get it. I want them to understand we don't make this stuff up. And this is not hype. This is not us just saying these things because, we're promoting our company and we want people to. That's not it, guys. That's not it. This is heartfelt. It is absolutely the truth. And it's what you need to know. Maybe not what you want to know, but it's what you need to know when it comes to what's happening with our economy. But there's a bright side to it too. And not only do you get to hear the good or the bad part of it, but you also get to hear the good part of it, which is the solution, the answer to all of these challenges. And I know that our good friend, our president of Field Leadership Development, which we'll bring him up in a minute, he is going to come up and really share some amazing information with people. But what I want to do is
Mr. House,
yes.
And not to interrupt you, but before we start, programming notes, something I forgot, and I dropped the ball on this. We are actually, you want to dial in if you want to hear this presentation, everything that we're doing tonight in full Spanish language. There's a number that you can dial into. That number is 319-527-2529. There's an interpreter on that line. So what you see can be interpreted in Spanish tonight. So for those Latino representatives and those who are chiming in from across the country that speak Spanish and want to hear the presentation in Spanish, dial 319-527-2529. Sorry about that, sir. Thank you.
No, absolutely. I'm glad you did that. And I'm glad Martina put it up across the bottom of the screen, guys, so you can definitely dial into that. But what I'm going to do, like I said, Gerald, I'm going to go through real quick, just kind of a little recap. And I put it on my phone here so I can read it. But as far as some bullets, I'm going to give you 10 reasons or 10 things that are happening right now in our economy that are affecting literally 280, 300 million Americans right now are being hit by this. And so I want to share that with you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Adamo. And so he can share the good news with you. Okay. So they stuck the CEO, they stuck me with giving the bad news. All right. And, but listen, let me go through this because, and take notes on this guy. Actually, you'll be able to come back and review this later because it'll be on our Facebook page. But I'm going to tell you, tag somebody, invite somebody to see this, somebody that maybe doesn't realize what's going on, because not only am I going to share what's happening in our economy, but everything I'm sharing with you. And I want this made very clear. Everything I'm sharing with you, our company provides a remedy or the solution to keep you from being negatively impacted by it. Okay? That's the beauty of what MWR Financial is about. It's all about helping people make, save, and grow their money. Okay? And so we provide everything you need to do that. Now, here's the here's the top 10 list of what's happening right now in our economy. First of all, Americans right now, are saving, their savings are down by 83%. The money Americans are putting into their savings is now down by 83%. Guys, that's crazy. Okay. American incomes have decreased. Okay. During this administration, and none of this stuff is meant to be political, guys. I just want you to know that. Don't care who you voted for. I vote based on policies and my principles and my family values, and I'm sure you do the same thing. Okay. But American incomes have decreased during the current administration. Instead of increasing as promised, no $15 minimum wage, many businesses had to lower. And the reason for this, okay, I'm not blaming it on the administration. I'm just saying promises have been made. They do it all. We do it all the time in campaigns. It doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. But many businesses, the reason this happened is many businesses had to lower their wages to make up for pandemic losses or for shutdowns, things like that. When they restarted their businesses, they couldn't keep the same pay scales. They had to replace a lot of people. And a lot of those people came in at lower pay scales instead of higher pay scales. Okay, so just so you know that. Now, here's the other thing. Number 3, inflation is at an all-time high. Okay, now, what you see on the news, okay, is telling you it's about 13.5%. All right. Now, here's the reality. The reality is more like 25 to 30 plus percent. 25 to 30 plus percent inflation. Now, I'll tell you how to be able to determine this. Okay. Go compare your grocery bill, your gas bill, and your utility bills to 2 years ago. Okay. Go compare what you're paying now to what you were paying 2 years ago. And you'll have a real good idea of how inflation is over 13.5%. Okay. That takes all goods and services across the board, but the things that people spend the most on a daily basis, it's really about 25 to 30 plus percent. All right. Now, here's another thing. Number 4, we are in a recession that is getting ready to get worse. Now, I will tell you, I've seen things and I've heard on the media and things like that where, and I hate saying government, but I'm going to say government is trying to redefine a recession. The definition of a recession has been the same forever. Okay. And 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, you're in a recession. Okay. Period. Go look up the definition. Now, with that, we're already in a recession. Okay. Now, the problem that we have with that is that this recession, along with the things that I just talked about, has created number 5. Okay. Credit card debt in this country, excuse me, in 2019 reached an all-time high. It was the first year in history that we had $1 trillion in credit card debt. However, the pandemic combined with the effects of inflation now has credit card debt. Now, remember, I said in 2019, it was $1 trillion for the first time in history in just 2 years, guys, 3 years, right at 3 years. Okay. We are now almost at $3 trillion in credit card debt. It is almost tripled in 3 years. And it is currently increasing by $350 billion every quarter. It's increasing by 3. We're not done yet. Okay, we're not done. And what this means is people are no longer financing niceties. Instead, they're financing necessities, and their available credit is running out. Their available credit is running out, guys. Okay. Most people only have so much available on their credit cards, and they're using them now to pay for things like groceries and gas and utilities and rent and things like that, instead of vacations or, buying a new TV or luxury items or niceties. they're now spending them for things, medications, things that they have to have, okay? Or you're using credit for that, burying themselves further in debt. Number 6, in the last 12 months, 401ks, if you have a 401k, 401ks lost more than 25%. In other words, if you had $400,000 in a 401k, you now have $300,000. All right. Literally 22 months of gains, 22 months of gains were literally wiped out in a few months. 22 months of gains were literally wiped out in a few months. Now, here's what's sad about that is most people that don't have a certain level of financial literacy, which is a large percentage of our population, guys, which I think is a travesty. I think it should be taught in school, but it's not. All right. A large percentage of people will think, well, that we lost 25%, but markets just got, on my 401k and the markets, they just got to recover by 25%. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because now you're only working with 300,000 instead of 400,000. So in order to get back to even, you have to produce 35 to 40% gains just to get back to even. That could take you years to be able to make that happen. Okay. And we have solutions for that. All right. Now, excuse me. Number 7, 98% of CEOs are preparing for a deeper recession. Okay. Now, how are they preparing? They prepare by laying off or replacing tenured higher income employees with younger college or high school graduates that they can pay less without paying them tenured salaries. Instead, they get to start paying them starting salaries, okay, to do the same jobs. All right. So, you're getting ready to see, and Gerald brought this up the other day, a company that he knows of in the insurance industry, young lady, they're already telling them they're getting ready to lay off 50 people in the insurance industry, the wealthiest industry in the world. And they're getting ready to start laying off people. Okay. So understand that is coming. You may or may not be affected, but we want to prepare you. We'd rather you be proactive instead of having to be reactive. We'd rather you do something now to remedy the problem and put yourself into a position to where you're not affected than to be hurt by it. Okay. Now, this is all happening. Number 8, this is all happening when pre-pandemic, pre-inflation, and pre-recession, 78% of Americans were already living paycheck to paycheck. Before all of this started to hit, 78% of Americans were already living paycheck to paycheck. This is why you see credit card debt skyrocketing, okay? To make it even worse, Americans are getting ready to see interest rates go up, all right, which has already been announced by the feds. And number 10, taxes will increase to make up for the trillions of dollars the government gave to everyone instead of just those that really needed it in order, in my opinion, to buy votes. That's my opinion, guys. I think, and it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. There was money given in both periods of time. But I will tell you, if you look at what stimulus checks have done, stimulus checks were designed to what? Stimulate the economy. Look at the effects since stimulus checks hit. I just saw Walmart laying off 1,400 people. This is crazy. And I thought that number was actually even higher. I saw that from Phil Jackson. Maybe he heard something different. But at the same time, guys, I want you to understand things aren't always as they're presented. Okay? You got to look at the results. For every action, there is a reaction, okay? And I want you to know that this is all to prepare you. It's not to scare you, okay? And like I said, you're in a very good position right now being here or listening to this information because and I'm going to touch on this real quick because I want to turn it over to Indamo because he's going to cover what I believe is the most important piece to help you remedy all of this, okay? But I will tell you, our company provides a membership that helps people provides them with experts that do all the work for you. Okay, so this is not us trying to give you a financial education. You have to go do it on your own. But our experts are going to help you lower or reduce your taxes. They're going to help you lower your monthly bills. They're going to help you restore your credit so you can pay less in interest and insurance premiums. They're going to help you back to the best shape possible. They're going to help you eliminate your debts. And our experts provide you with the best ways to save, grow, and protect your money tax-free with no risk of loss. With our program, what we offer, you never have to worry about taking a 25% hit on your retirement, okay, on your 401k. And those things can be converted tax-free as well. Our experts will help with that, but I want you to be aware of what we're doing. And so with that, I have taken up way more time than I said I would. I told Damo I'd be about 5 minutes, but he already knew I was going to be a little windier than that. But I gave him plenty of time. But guys, again, I'm going to tell you, pay close attention to what he's about to share with you, because he's going to add some information to what I just shared. But man, he is going to break down how you can participate in our company and be able to be a blessing to other people, as well as your own family at the same time, utilizing our experts and then being able to share your success with other people, with what we're able to do for you, and how you can make a tremendous amount of money. And I will tell you, I believe the best thing anybody can do during a recession is figure out a way to profit from it by helping others that are suffering from it. Okay? Helping, not creating an additional expense for them, but providing a solution that puts more money in their pocket than what it costs them to participate. So with that, I'm going to bring up our good friend and my business partner here, our president of Field and Leadership Development, and that is none other than Mr. Ndamo Tolson. How are you, buddy?
Man, Brian, you have me fired up. I literally have goosebumps on my arms, and it's not because of the pain that you just gave to everyone. It's
I was going to say all of that was horrible.
That was horrible, but we have the
Yeah.
solution, and that's what's so exciting. We have the ability to have people lead lives of significance because of the impact they're going to have on society and their local areas, so it's society as a whole. I'm telling you, I'm super excited about where we're positioned, because we are that beacon of hope and light that's going to really impact people. And I truly believe you were accurate when you said that this is now you're starting to see why God had you go this direction and why you were called to do this as opposed to everything else. And this, it's always, that doesn't happen when it happens. We had to set things in motion before we ever got to when it was going to go here. So that is just,
Dom, you know my story. I sold a
Yes.
company that was doing
Right.
$12.5
$12.5 million in
a
revenue.
year in revenue to be able to do this full time. And and it was because I was called to do it. And
Yes.
so with that, listen, I'm going to get out of your way.
Okay.
I want you to share this information with them, with everybody on here. And so I'm gonna take a hike. I'll go backstage. I've got a couple of things I'm going to be doing while I'm listening to you and watching. Okay.
Absolutely. No challenge. No challenge. Well, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
So here's what I want to do. And I want you to put in the comments if it's okay for me to keep it real. Just put in the comments, keep it real, on Ndamo, or yes, or keep it real, because that's what I want to do today, is keep it real with everybody here. In fact, the way we'll do it is we'll start off with Martina. Can you do something for me and just put up a clip? This is going to take 25 seconds, but I want everybody to see and hear this clip, and then we'll come back and we'll get going here. Oh, by the way, this clip is from Frontline. So it's not me or Brian or MWR. This is from Frontline, and this clip was about. And if it's not going to play, Martina, it's okay. Let me know. Okay. Okay, because Martina, because I can't see the screen, so you have to let me know where we are. Or Gerald, someone let me know where we
Hey,
are.
Dan, hey, Dom,
Yeah.
I'm here. Listen, we can't hear it. Nobody
Okay,
can
then
hear.
don't
I
worry about
can't
it.
hear it.
Yeah.
Maybe they can hear it on the other side. I don't know, but
And I couldn't hear it either. So
it's
we'll do.
okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead and
it's
just
okay. We'll give them
explain what
another.
it was
Yeah.
saying instead of
What
that'll
it
work.
does is it's a frontline piece, and I'll get you guys the link to it so that way you can go watch this, because this is just really talking about the retirement crisis in this country that's happening. It goes over some of the very things Mr. House was talking about, and it talks about people that are now putting their money in a 401k as hope to come out of that crisis. And it was something that was said there. It says you put up 100% of the capital, you take 100% of the risk, because remember, you're tied to the market, and then you only get 30% of the rewards in that sense of a return, if you will, because a third is going to go to taxes, another third is being eaten up by fees that you in most cases aren't even aware of because they don't have to be reported. So that's kind of what that touched on, and I just want you all to understand what we're going to show you today. In fact, I'm going to make it very, very clear for everybody what Mr. House was just talking about. Martina, go to the link that I sent you and the site, so I can show them and kind of put your cursor, because what I want to do is show you right now what the U.S. national debt is. Okay, that's the U.S. national debt, and when you look there and you're seeing these numbers go rapidly. Okay, you're seeing them go by rapidly. Do you realize that we're going into debt by about $1 billion every few minutes? That's the national debt. Now, Martina, take them down to where it shows the U.S. total debt. This is in the trillions of dollars. The trillions of dollars. I need you to see these are real time happening. So when you heard Mr. House say this is happening all the time, yes. When you hear me say that the money game is being played 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days, does not take a time off. In fact, if you go back and look at the national debt, you see that, well, we already probably hit another $1 billion more in debt. But here's what's frightening. Martina, scroll down to the very bottom and go over to that one area that I told you about. And this is what the total United States, what we're on the hook for. So in other words, this hasn't been paid yet, but this is what we have to pay back, $172 trillion. So this is a site that anybody can go to and look and see exactly what's going on. So I want you to understand that what we're doing, when you say keep it real, Andamo, I'm going to keep it real this entire time, and we're going to deal in fact. So that right there, I just wanted everybody to see that as a way to understand that, whoa, wait a minute, this is happening. And if you haven't gotten the people you need to have on this line right now, you need to get them on, because we're going to go over some things and break some things down. And you're going to see why. Go on, Martina, pull up the PowerPoint, but you're going to see why MWR at Home, which is our company, is the one and only solution in this current time. And let's talk about the keys to the American dream, because that's what we all have heard. You know, you go out there, and Martina, let me know if my slide, or Brian, you could let me know if you guys are seeing my.
You're good to go.
Okay, all right, I'm good to go. Okay, great. So, you go to school and you get a good education, so you can get a good what? Everybody put in the comments. We already know, a good job, right? That is what we're told. That's what we're sold. All of that hope and glory, right? But then once you get a good job and you have the stability and ability to live the American dream, that's what it's supposed to be. And what is the American dream? Well, it's home ownership, it's financial prosperity, and it's a comfortable retirement. See, while this philosophy may have been good for your grandparents, really not your parents, really, it's like your grandparents now, does it still apply in the new millennium, the 21st century? Well, let me talk to you about the American dream revealed. Now, this is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So this isn't Andamo saying this. This isn't Brian House saying this. This isn't MWR Corporate saying this. This is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They literally took 100 college students and they tracked them for 40 years from age 25 to 65. So this is the cream of the crop because they graduated from college, right? So they're tracking the cream of the crop, college students, for 40 years. Here's what they found. And here's where they ended up financially. 1% were wealthy. What wealthy is considered is having a $2.2 million net worth. So 1% had that at 65. 4% were financially independent, which means a minimum of 25 times. Listen to me, everyone. You said keep it real. 25 times your annual expenses in savings. So if you wanted to have at the time you retire $3,000 a month coming in, then you have to have $36,000 for the year. That means you need to have $900,000 liquid to be able to cover your expenses over 25 times. That's what's financially independent. We know most people don't hit that, right? So let's talk about the rest. 5% of these college students were still working. 36%, unfortunately, were dead. And 54% were dead broke. Ladies and gentlemen, these are real numbers. You said keep it real, we're doing that. 5% of all the 100 graduates, 5% were financially independent or wealthy, considered wealthy. Okay? That's it. And then here's what happens. 95% are in the other category, still working, deceased, or dead broke. So you have to now decide, where is it that you really want to be? Where do you want to go? Because I'm sure everybody's saying, well, I'm going to be in the 5%. Well, if we took on this call right now, 100 people on the call, it would just be, here's one, that they'll become wealthy, and here's 4, they'll be financially independent, and everybody else, you're on the other side. It's all right, boy. Whew, we're gonna keep it real, but let's talk about defining your goal, because that's what you really want to do. If we really sat down, and unfortunately, most people, they'll spend time on planning a vacation, planning, a wedding, a baby shower, all kinds of things, as opposed to really sitting down planning how they're going to get to where they want to go. So let's define this goal. If you wanted to be able to withdraw, and I'm not going to go to the big numbers out, all of you are saying, man, I want to be able to have $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month when I retire. I'm just going to keep this for the average and ordinary person. And I know that's none of you, but I just want to break this down. If you wanted $6,000 a month in today's dollars to come in, and what we're saying is, because you've paid off a lot of things, you don't have a lot of debt, so $6,000, you feel like you'd be comfortable living at that time. Okay? And that's in today's dollars. Now, let's say you started saving for retirement at 40, and you wanted to start living on those retirement assets at 65. So that's the premise here. Now, you also believe you're going to live to your 95 years old, so you need that money to last you for 30 years. Okay? Well, you have to estimate inflation, because you have to estimate for it. You heard what Mr. House said. It was so accurate. But let's say over time, we're going to kind of keep it conservative, because over time, we're going to say it was 2% inflation every year. Okay? And then while living in retirement, you want your assets to earn you, and you're going to say, because time up and down and all around the economy, just give me a solid 5% earnings every year. So if you notice, I'm keeping this very conservative. You will need to accumulate, look at this number, ladies and gentlemen, over $2.3 million by the time you start saving for your retirement. That's what you'll need to accumulate. Let's put that in more perspective. That means you will need to save $94,000 a year, a little over $94,000 a year for the next 25 years to reach your goal. Now, I already know most people don't even make $94,000 a year. The median household income, not counting individual income, the median household income is $67,000. In fact, if you look on that calculator I just showed you, it'll tell you the median income in the country. It's in the 30s. So how in the world you expect to put $94,000 away every single year that you can't touch? It's tough. But this is what I want you to see. In MWR, right, what you're looking at here are incomes. $20 a day, $40 a day, $80 a day, $140 a day, $200 a day, $400 a day, $1,000 a day. This is the size of the minimum size of the organizations that you would need to build in order to create this kind of income. So when people have, and we have hundreds of people that are at $20 a day, if they were using the 5% that we were being conservative with, if they were getting a 5% return on their money, in order for that $20 a day to come into your house, every single household, every single day, which is essentially $600 a month, you would need to have $144,000 saved, like in a vault, because you can't touch it, in order to make that happen. I want you to put down in the comments for me, which do you think is easier? To have 3 people who get 3 and have a total of 12 people in your organization, or you saving $144,000 that you can't touch ever because you need this to generate that? Just asking the question. So we're going to kind of rally back to this, but I want you to see, we have a document that is available for everyone that I want you to start to see. You can determine where you want to be. And it's mind blowing, because even when we talked about the $6,000 a month, I want you to see here, it only takes 300 qualified financial directors to be there, or you can save $1.44 million and not touch it, and try to get to and be at $6,000 a month where you want to be for retirement. It's your choice. But here's what I want to talk about: why a private reserve account is one of the best ways to help you achieve your goal. Let's look at that. See, to achieve your goal, remember we talked about you're going to have a little over $2.3 million in the bank. Remember we said over 25 years. Well, you would need to put $3,200 per month into a PRA. That would allow the money to grow inside your PRA for 25 years at an annual rate of 8.5% return, because you don't participate in the downside of the market. So you get a little bit better than if you were just market up and down, because you heard what Mr. House said. If you lose money, you have to make more money to even get back to even. So this is what this helps. With 1/3 going to taxes, 33%, and then the estimated that we said the 2% inflation every year, this is what will happen. If you're putting your money in a traditional bank account and you were getting 2% annually, that would give you $960,000 over that 25 years. Okay? Doesn't get you to the $6,000 a month you wanted to achieve, but that's $960,000 traditional savings. And I'm giving 2% when we know they don't even pay 1% right now. But I'm saying over 25 years, maybe it averages 2%. The traditional 401k account, your money, which is about 6% annually, your money would have grown to $1.357 million, still short of the goal. But in a PRA, you see the money grows to over $2.4 million, which then, watch this, 25 years of just building a business. Now you might say, Andamo, $3,200 a month. How would I get there? Well, remember we talked about if you had, I'll just do it this way. So you can see here the 22.4 million with your PRA, but you got to be able to put $3,200 a month away. So this is why it's important to know the MWR ranks and the numbers. So let's look at it. MWR's regional director, that's 900 points to get there. It's a minimum of 300 MWR members to be a regional director. That's 300 memberships, okay? That daily guarantee residual income is $200 a day or $6,000 per month residually. It's $73,000 a year in annual residual income. This is coming month after month, day after day, or year after year, okay? That same $6,000, we talked about it earlier, is the same as if you had $1.44 million in a bank that you cannot touch, and you had it working for you at 5% interest, okay? So I'm helping you understand your numbers where you say, okay, Andamo, what are you telling me and how is this relating? Because if I had $6,000 a month residually, could I put $3,200 of that away, especially if I'm building a business part-time, which most of the people in MWR are doing? Well, yeah, I could do that. I could, if I knew that was going to be my goal and where it would really get me there, I could do that, right? Okay, but now watch this. Let's look at these numbers again. You saw the 300, so you guys can see I'm looking right at the comp plan. You should look at this. That it tells you right there. Here's the regional director. Here's the 300 minimum size. Here's with the organization how it would need to be structured. Here's your daily pay, your monthly income, and your residual income. annually. Okay, so let's look at this. Most people, right? Says I love this. Is one of my favorite quotes from Bill Gates. He says that most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10. Let me show you why I know that's the case. See, you can build to a regional, because some of you right now, and I'll just say this, I'm going to back up so you can see. Some of you I know are going on Damo. My God, there's no way. I can never get to regional. It won't happen. I can't do it. All right, why are you using these big numbers? I thought you were going to keep it real with us. Give us some numbers that we can handle. Okay, so I'm going to do that for you. Do you realize you can build to regional director rank by having 2 people join your business? Watch this. Not every day, not every week, every month. That's 12 people that joined your business for the year if you did it for 25 years. And if you're going to be working for 25 years, if you're saying, I want my goals to be 25 years from now, you could do that by 2 people between you and your organization coming in every single month. But you know why people quit even when they're making $600, $1,200 a month? They're making $20 a day, $40 a day, $80 a day. Why they quit and leave MWR Financial? It does that because it doesn't make sense, right? You go, why would you ever leave if you could do that? The reason why people quit is because they overestimated what they can do in a year, and they go, man, I put all this effort, all this energy, all this time, and I'm working my butt off, and it didn't happen. So I'm not making enough money, so I'm going to go do something else. And they don't even understand what they're giving away. I just showed you where $600 a month, which is $20 a day, you would need $144,000 to have in a bank. And the very people that quit don't even have the $144,000 in the bank that they don't touch, and they know is going to bring them $200 or $20 a day, which is $600 a month. They don't even have it. But they quit because here's why they quit. They're not making the money they thought they were going to make because they overestimated what they can do in 1 year and underestimated what they can do in 10 or more. Watch this. Or listen to this. You could build to 2-star regional director, be a millionaire residual club ring earner by just having 4 people join your business every month, which is 48 people a year for 10 years. Can you believe that? This is how you get this done. That's right there. That's $102,000 a year at $280 a day or $8,400 a month. That's what can happen for you. And when you look at, and I'm going to keep this going because we're going to keep it all good. Here, I'm going right back. You can see you need 480 memberships to be a 2-star regional director. And if you did it over time, see, that's that tortoise and the hare thing. We all know that fable, but it's relative. It's relative. Say, Andamo, keep keeping it real for us. Just put in the comments, because otherwise I'll stop. Unless you want me to keep keeping it real, because I'm going to give you some more. Let's talk about, if not MWR, then what? Let's look at that. Will taxes still be the largest expense 25 years from now for people? Put in the comments. Let me know, yes or no. Okay? Well, I'm seeing some yeses pop in there. Let me ask you this. Will the government still have a system that allows you to overpay and wants you to be excited about a refund 25 years from now? Put in the comments, yes or no. Will banks still offer credit cards so people can still buy things they can't afford and they basically finance their lifestyle 25 years from now? Will that still be happening? Will big business still advertise so people participate in their monthly holidays 25 years from now? I want you to understand the special, my goodness. This is why I get them. This is why I get them. I'm telling you, it's powerful. Will inflation still exist 25 years from now? These things are here long term, right? Now watch this. MWR meets the needs of people today, right where they are. They don't have to jump through hoops to where we meet their need. We meet them right where they are, but it's not only we do it today, we will do it tomorrow and decades from now. because what we do matters. Oh, I'm telling you. And it's what you do. That's the whole thing. You matter. Now, if not MWR, again, I'm asking then what? The financial industry is the largest industry in the world. Let's get real clear. We're not talking about, there's a lot of people in our industry and in terms of the network marketing industry that say, oh, we're going to be a multi-million-dollar company. We're going to be a billion-dollar company. Some even have, oh, we're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Or we work in a multi-billion-dollar industry, a multi-million-dollar industry. They're kind of trying to define how big the industry is, so therefore it should be a lot of opportunity. Well, I'm going to tell you flat out, the financial industry is the largest industry in the world. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, not million or billion, trillion. But I know when I say that, and when you hear the number trillion, it just doesn't relate. So let me help you relate, because we're going to measure how large 1 trillion is. Okay? And I'm going to help you by asking you a couple questions. I just want you to put in the comments quickly for me, though. I think this is participating here. If this took place, 1 million seconds is 12 days. If you went 1 second at a time, 1 million seconds will take 12 days. So I want you to put in the comments what you think 1 billion seconds will take. Just put it in there. Because we're talking about 1 million, let's talk about 1 billion. Put in the comments. All right, and trust me, if you don't know this, it's okay. I didn't know it until I learned it, and then now I have it. But I want you to put in the comments what you think it will take. There's no right or wrong answer, because I know people don't know it, but I'm going to give you what it actually is. But I just want you to help see where your perception of things are, okay? To have 1 billion seconds is 31 years. Well, you go, whoa, because I've had people tell me, if it's 12 days, maybe it's 30 days or 100 days, 200, 300 days. Maybe it's 5 years. 31 years goes from 1 million to 1 billion. Because remember, you have to get to 999 million before you ever get to 1 billion. So if 1 billion is 31 years, what do you think 1 trillion is? Put it down. Just take a guess. Take a stab at it. I love people who are bold enough to say, I don't know, but I'm gonna just guess, because they participate, and because that means they're engaged. They're in. They go, okay, I don't know, but educate me. Okay? Here's what 1 trillion is. 1 trillion is 31,688 years. So 1 trillion seconds ago, or 1 trillion seconds, that's what it equates to. So that means 1 trillion seconds ago, that would have been around 29,679 BC, which is roughly about 24,000 years before the earliest civilization began to take shape. 1 trillion. Oh, let me show you something here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you had $10,000 stacked in $100 bills, it would just be a little stack like that, a little thin stack. If you're standing in front of $1 million stacked up in $100 bills, this would be you. And this is how little the stack would look. If you were $100 million, it doesn't look like much, but there's $100 million, it would be on a pallet. $1 billion, you need 10 of those pallets, and this is what it would look like. And this would look like you standing next to that. 1 trillion, I'm doing this so you could see that you need to do 2 pallets, not just 1, but 2. So now the pallets are taller than you. But if we wanted to we had to pull back so we can get the whole picture, this is what you would look like. You see you down here? This is 1 trillion in double stack pallets. Look at 1 billion and look at 1 trillion. It's not even close. So let me help you understand something. The financial industry is $109 trillion industry. 109. This is why you've heard me say you can turn your dream machine wide open. Dream as big of dreams as you want. We have our great #1 income earner, Brian Bean. That's what he's doing. He's dreaming big dreams. You have Gerald Parker on the line, dreaming big dreams. You have, I can go through so many, so I don't want to leave people out, but I'll just use Charles and Judith Ivory as a couple that are dreaming big dreams. And here's what's great about MWR. I don't care how big of dreams you dream. You can dream what you think are the wildest dreams of all time. But I want to go accomplish it. And you do the work required to go accomplish it. You can realize, every single person can realize all their dreams, and there's still more money available. That's the kind of industry I want to be in. Let me know if you want to be in that kind of industry. Put down in the comments. I want to know. See, I need you to understand what you have before you. Oh my goodness. And the financial industry, just so you know, it dwarfs all the other industries. So any competition you think, it's not even in the, you already see what 1 trillion is versus 109 trillion. And you're talking about an industry where our industry is a multi-billion dollar. Okay. And I look at a billion, I look at a trillion. I look at 109 trillion, this would get sick. It would be crazy. But this is where you are. This is what has been placed before you. Oh my goodness. Woo! Help me help you understand. You have to know what business you're in. Because I'm going to show you how we're going to take advantage of all this. You have to know what business you're in. You need to become very clear about the answer to this question. So, Mr. House, and when he talked about what we're up against, and you know the services we have help people create cash flow out of their existing finances, and then we have places to put that cash flow. But guess what we also do? We help you make money. And having clarity to answer the above will move you forward in the right direction, which is what business are we in? See, we're in the distribution business. Now, understand, we build customer gathering outlets. So we have to have customers or we can't be in business. But here's what happens. Opening outlets at MWR, which is people, bringing people on, they move products and services simultaneously through those outlets. And what's so great about our outlets, they move around and can create other outlets. Who can create other outlets that literally have you, instead of you being 100% dependent on what you do and your income based on what your efforts are, you get to now leverage and have the duplicating effect and the multiple effect of having tens or hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people helping you to pay your bills. And if you had 10, 20, 30, 100 people helping you to pay your bills, would it be easier than when you are by yourself? Put in the comments. If it's easier, or by myself, I do it on my own. We want to know. You see, we can aim at a recruit, aim at somebody who wants to join this business, and we can always land on enrolling customers. Ooh, you control your destiny. It is a requirement to control your destiny, and you can. If you never control your career, you will never control your destiny. See, most people have something inside of them. Ooh, and I know that I'm talking to you right now. Most people, if they know it, man, they have something inside of them that has always told them that they were going to be destined for greatness in their careers or business life. That was me. I didn't know how or what or why. I wonder why I even had those feelings, but I always felt that way. Somehow, they have always known in their heart of hearts that they were capable of achieving so much more. Woo! But MWR, which doesn't limit you at all in any way, shape, or form, helps people from diverse backgrounds, from all walks of life. Ooh, to build a business that you can increase their family's financial, emotional, and mental capital exponentially. Man, I'm telling you, I'm excited because it changes lives. But here's what happens. Oh my goodness, I need to get a drink of water. Let's see here. I'm looking at stuff. Okay, we offer one of the things I'm looking at. We offer you a chance to build a less stressful, more satisfying career that will help you build a better life for you and your family. Okay, you want to live a richer life? Let's talk about it. MWR Financial is realizing tremendous business success, and our leaders are generating record incomes across this country. You've heard about it. You've heard about it. See, some of you go, well, I didn't get to $1,000 a day quickly. I didn't do what Kevin Velasquez did and got to $650 a day in less than 60 days. I didn't do what a Christy Howard did and was the first to become a ring earner in this company. I didn't do that fast. I didn't do what Amina did and got to $280 a day in 30 days. I didn't do that. So I can't win. No. See, if you understand, everybody's race is their own race. Some people want to go fast. Some people have things that are going on in their life they can't go fast. But as long as you stay with it and you go at your own pace, I just showed you earlier that you can achieve it. All you have to do is decide. See, no matter how well MWR Financial is done as a company, and we're doing extremely well, no matter how much money our leaders are making, this is something you need to know. No matter how powerful the opportunity is, no matter how vast the market or how strong the support, if you don't put yourself into the equation, none of this will impact you or your family. You've got to put yourself in this. There are 3 keys to becoming successful in business. Real simple. Be at the right place at the right time. We've heard that. That's so true. And I would add I forgot to add it here, but with the right people. Okay? Recognize that you're at the right place at the right time. That's critically important. At the right place at the right time with the right people, right leadership. You got to recognize that. And then once you recognize it, that you're in the right place at the right time with the right people and the right leadership, you have to pull the trigger. It's go time. See, don't miss this moment. MWR Financial is uniquely positioned to help you and your family realize your dreams and take control of your financial destiny, period. You know the services, what we do, and you know how it impacts people, so you understand that. This is your opportunity to get on the ground floor. Let me help you understand something. Do you realize there's not a state in this country, and I think I can make this statement. I didn't look at the numbers here recently, but I think I'm almost positive that this statement is accurate. It is. If it's not, it's very, very close. There's not a state in this country that we have more than 1,000 MWR qualified financial directors in. Not one state in this country. So you were at the ground floor of one of the, I'm telling you, one of the most significant movements in business history, and it will help you lead a richer life if you just go and grab what you have in front of you. Now, you might ask the question, because I know some of you are thinking, well, okay, Andamo, I hear you, but what? Well, and I've heard that phrase, lightning in a bottle. Well, let me tell you what lightning in a bottle looks like, okay? So you get real clear. $109 trillion industry. You can realize all your financial dreams and goals no matter how big you dream. You heard me talk about that. The first company to provide the solutions to overcome the roadblocks to creating wealth. That's MWR. MWR is the best at what we do because the experts do the work for you while you get to experience the results of financial literacy right now. You heard Mr. House say last week or Monday that those that are trying to learn and become financially literate and try to learn it, they can't learn it fast enough for what's happening in the economy right now to make a difference. They won't learn it fast enough. But you can learn it at your own pace and learn it by doing, which is the best way to learn, by letting the experts do the work for you and having the conversations and seeing the results that it's giving you. Okay? Only company, MWR is the only company that offers the opportunity to make, save, and grow your money with little to no risk of loss. That statement seems so it seems like a nice statement that's so powerful. So right now you're looking at MWR as the first, the best, and the only. And you have the #1 residual comp plan in the industry, period. It's not even close. I'm helping you to see what lightning in a bottle looks like. You have timing. What did I just say? Nobody has more than 1,000 people in any state. I don't care what state you're in. If you're in California, you could have 1,000 people in LA. You never run into them. Unbelievable. And then the other part, we have documented examples of success. So you need that to be able to catch lightning in a bottle as well. So you don't have to come here and then cross your fingers and hope that someone had their taxes reduced. You don't have to come here, cross your fingers and hope that someone saw their monthly recurring bills lowered. You don't have to hope and cross your fingers that someone may be able to get out of debt earlier than what they thought following the plan that the experts laid out, because they know their millionaire date and their debt-free date at millionaire date. You don't have to cross your fingers to hope that somebody's credit score is going to go up or not. You have documented proof that we do what we say we do, somewhere upwards over 10,000 in our MWR testimonial pages. See, and lightning in a bottle, just so you know, you have to catch it. It doesn't just sit there for you. You have to go catch it. And boy, you have the opportunity to do that. So which is most likely to happen? I want you to tell me, because we're keeping it real. So let's keep it real with it. I'm coming to an end. Which do you think is the most likely to happen? Saving $94,000 a year. Remember, you had to save over $94,000 a year. So you, being that average person, needs to have $2.3 million in the bank just to have $6,000 show up every month, because that's the level you want. Is that easier, or is it easier, listen to me clearly, to stick and stay until I get my pay, no matter how fast you want to run or how slow you want to run? It's your race, but stick and stay till you get your pay. Because when you do that, if you consistently build your MWR at home business at your own pace, you rank up just to regional or above. That'll generate $200 a day or $6,000 a month in residual income. You make the call. This is up to you. And ladies and gentlemen, I've never had this sort of timing, these sort of confluences come together. Because watch this, Brian House and I, you heard me say this on Monday night, we were in a company that together, that was the inspiration of where MWR came from. And that company did not do nearly what we do here at MWR Financial, but they had a couple things that were similar. And we literally were there in the moment, but that company did not have the leadership from the top that could recognize the moment and make sure we take advantage of it. But what we were able to do was we were able to make money while everybody else was going down. People were freaking out. All kind of stuff was happening. We made money during a 2008, 2009 were some great years financially for Brian House and myself in our building era. And you ask most people, 2008, 2009 are years they'd want to forget. But so understand, oh my goodness. You heard Brian say he left a company that he was doing $12.5 million in revenue, stop that so he could build MWR, because this was what he was called to do. Do you understand that God prepared him way back then so he would know how to make this happen where it comes full circle and it's done and it's built right in the right way with the right mindset and the right vision? This is a special moment in time. You were built for it because you're here. I don't have to wonder. You're here. If God has you here right now, people are going to hear about MWR 5, 10, 20 years from now. And they're going to be as excited as you are right now. Oh, yeah, I'm great. I'm going to go tear it up. They're just excited, ready to tear it up. And is there going to be an opportunity? Yes, because every year, like I said, none of this stuff goes away. We have a whole nation to get to. So they're going to be excited. But the difference is 25 years from now, they can't talk to 100 people and maybe a half of one person has ever even heard of MWR. They're going to have to go through, well, they talked to 100 people and probably 30 or 40 of them have heard of MWR already. So there's still an opportunity to happen, but they just have to work harder. You just have to get over, your own issues. What do when I say your issues, I'm talking, what do you mean? That stinking thinking that's in your brain, that when someone says no, you take it personally. You got to get emotion out of the way. When someone says, man, that'll never work, that you don't take on their belief system for yours. See, you've got to want it. And you have to know why you want it. See, some of you, some of the reasons why some of you start and then stop, and you start and stop, or you didn't quit, but I start and then I kind of stop, I chill, because you don't want it bad enough. It doesn't. It's kind of like your goals. It doesn't have that much. It doesn't matter enough. So if you didn't do it, hey, you know what? If I quit on my goals, nobody would really know. They wouldn't even really matter to anyone. I'm not, if I did it, if I quit, it's really not that deep. I just, if I just quit on my goals. But see, for me, I'm telling you, my building area, and right now, the passion I have for seeing people win in all areas is so deeply rooted, because it is bigger than myself. And it matters, and I put it on the line every day for people that will hold me accountable. Mr. House holds me accountable. The leadership of this company holds me accountable. And I can stand tall when I do well, and I make mistakes like everybody else. When I don't do well, I still stand tall, and I'm not going anywhere because I understand all they're doing is helping me to be better and help me achieve the goals that I have for myself and this company. This is your moment. I cannot tell you how big it is. Okay, I'm going to stop here. In fact, here's what I want to do, because I laid some things out for you very clearly. And obviously I didn't go and say, well, what are you and what are you? I could get everybody's individual thing and they could say, here we are, we have this, we have that, we have this. But I want to bring Mr. House and Gerald Parker back to the foreground so we can close out. But I want to get your thoughts on what you just saw.
What I saw, Sarah, was a winning formula. You laid it all out. Seriously, this is Plan B on steroids. This is the way to do it, honestly, because when we look at where we are, what we generate as it relates to income, our cost of living, add all that up compared to what you're making, particularly if you're working for a job. And I don't knock a job. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. But you've got to create a plan, a ticket out. And MWR Financial was a saving grace for me, Dom, because I was on that plan. And that was my trajectory and where I was headed. I mean, based on the earnings from my 401k at 55 years old, I was scheduled to work another 25 years before I had enough money in that fund to retire. That would have put me at the age of 80. So with MWR Financial, not only did the services stop the bleeding in my financial life, but it was the opportunity itself that elevated me to a different level. That was the saving grace. That's what got me out and positioned me where I could begin to generate enough income to walk away from a $65,000 a year job to do this full time and secure my future, with the income opportunity. That's what this is. And I want people to understand that it's real. And these are some tough decisions that we'll begin to have to make. And we've got to, one of the first pieces of advice, one of the first questions that was asked to me from my financial advisors, his question to me was, what's your number? And I didn't fully understand what this guy was talking about. Nobody had ever had a serious conversation with me about my financial future. I said to him, what do you mean, what's my number? He wanted to know what it was going to take, how much monthly income that I need to live the life that I desired to live for the rest of my life. What was it going to take? I had no clue what that number was. But then when we did finally, he helped me determine what the number was. It was quite clear that I was never going to hit that number based on my job income and that alone. So I had to come up with a plan B, and This was it.
And that, Gerald, you just hit it right on the head. I've been there. That's where I was. I understand it. And what I'm trying to help people understand, and I didn't break down, because it's too many people, too many different things, but some people go, and Dom, you said $3,200 a month to put in my private reserve account for 20. I mean, I can't do that, or I don't want to wait 25 years. You have what you need, which is to create the income. You have a comp plan. That's why I showed the comp plan that will get you to where you want to go. And if you don't think you're going to go fast, then just do it over time. What period of time do you want to achieve your goals in? It can all happen right here with a company that's perfectly positioned in what's happening today. And Brian, what you saw the calculators, that how fast we're going into debt. I mean, that thing is like a little speed demon. And the things you talk about, that's why I wanted people to realize we don't just make up this stuff. There's a U.S. debt calculator that you can go look at and see exactly what's going on with this country.
Yeah, no, Dom, I'm just going to tell you, and the key to those calculators is people understanding that they need to stay ahead of inflation. Right. Okay. It's not just, you pointed out 2% inflation. We're talking about 13.5 to, which is what you see on the media, and then 25 to 30% in reality. Mm-hmm. If you look at those, the statistics and what people are spending right now, and let's just face it, your jobs are not increasing incomes at the rate inflation is growing. Okay. I just told people, incomes went backwards after the pandemic, not up. They went backwards after the pandemic. Okay. Companies weren't giving raises because they lost way too much revenue. Okay. So all of these things are compounding, and the compounding effects of it will you'll either take advantage of an opportunity that gives you the ability to be able to get ahead of these things, and profit from it and be able to, again, every adversity comes with an opportunity, okay, and be a blessing to other people, or you'll just become a victim of it. And that's the bottom line. There's no other way of putting it. And I'm telling you, there are tons of things you can do out there. And again, I'm not saying this as the CEO of the company. Right. I'm saying it because I honestly can't find anything else. I look at what I think would be a competing opportunity or some other business that may be appealing, or maybe even things that we could add here that would end up helping our members even more. Okay, we're constantly looking to try to make things even better, even though I feel like we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Right. Okay, but at the same time, there are not other opportunities out there that you can get involved with that will put more money in your pocket than what it costs you to be involved in that business. There's just not. Name them for me. There are product-based companies that you can get on standing orders, and they got great products. But what happens during a recession? In a recession, you drop standing orders on things that you are not necessities, that are niceties. You end up dropping those. We don't have that scenario here. We have over a 62% annual retention rate. 62%. And it's actually, to me, it'll probably get even better because of what's happening right now. Right. But here you have the opportunity to build something. Build it one time. Add to your income every month instead of constantly trading time to try to replace it. And getting a second job won't do the trick. It will not do what you need it to do, because jobs are not loyal. Right. Jobs are not loyal. Okay. Right. CEOs, business owners are in business to make money. Realize you as an employee are their biggest expense. In a recession, what do CEOs do? They cut their biggest expenses. You know what we're doing? We just hired another employee today. We don't lose the employees we have. Our employees have been with us for years. Okay. And we want to add more employees because of the growth that we're experiencing. And you have the opportunity to be a part of it, participate in it. And Dom, I can't thank you enough for the way you laid it out. I can tell you right now, some of you may not even make $3,200 a month. Right. You may not. Your only option is to make more money and reduce the expenses that you have. We do both. Right. We do both.
And Brian, I'd be remiss if we didn't say this and just really hammer down on this, because you said it often. We're the only company that I'm aware of. And in fact, not only the only company, I don't know anything else that I can pay what's perceived. And I know how people perceive this, even though we know it's different. But the perception is the $99.97, the $149.97 is an expense. We're the only company I know that you can pay an expense and create cash flow because you paid that expense to generate cash flow. That's it's unheard of. Yes. Why the reason why everyone else, when they have product-based companies and all those things, because those are expenses, like you said, they're niceties. I don't absolutely have to have this, but in our world, it's about your money, and then even when you pay that expense, it's going to create more cash flow than it actually costs you.
Yeah, no, and Dom, I'm going to say one more thing. The other thing is that, and guys, listen, I hope you all point this out to people. Because the fear of getting involved in network marketing is because people have been burnt in the past. Right. Okay. This is why we use experts. We don't have directors that are running around trying to be financial experts. We use experts that actually do all the work. We stay in compliance. We make sure we do things by the book. We need to protect this opportunity for decades to come. We want you to be able to build something that you can pass on to the next generation. And we're the only company that I know of that in your PowerPoint, Dom, you said little to no risk of loss. Guys, there is no risk of loss getting involved in an MWR business with our membership. Because if you're an active participant and you plug in and utilize what our company has to offer, we back it up with a guarantee. We say, hey, if we can't save or make you more money in your first 30 days, we will give you a full refund. I cannot tell you how important that is during a down economy, during a recession, while inflation is skyrocketing, that you clarify that with people, because they are scared to spend their last dollar. If they were looking for anything that they needed to get them out of that situation, if they're down to their last dollar, I would encourage them to sell their TV. I would encourage them to maybe take out a small business loan or a personal loan. Or, you know what, if you've got $200 or $149 left on your credit card, that would be where I would spend it. It wouldn't be going out and buying something that you don't need. It would be to buy something that will get you out of the situation that you are in. And that is the best advice that I can give anybody. And guys, I know you hear it in my voice. I get so frustrated at knowing the impact that we're making on people's lives. And I see people that choose to stay where they are. Understand this. We cannot save everybody.
Right.
We can only save those that are willing to be saved and that are willing to make a decision to do something to better their life for their families. Those are the people we want to work with. If you share this information, you share our opportunity, our membership with others, and tell them the power of what we do with no risk involved to them, and they do not want to participate, but yet they're struggling, as much as it pains me to say it, leave them where they are, because there are over 100 million people that are right now praying for you to give them a solution. And we have.
Wow. Brian, that's it. That's it. So I just, Brian, I thank God for you. You changed my life, so many people's lives. Gerald, I'm going to say you representing the other leaders that are in MWR. I'm so grateful for you all to have the strength of character and the vision to say, okay, I see what you and Brian are doing on Damo, and we're going to move this forward. So I'm so grateful, and I know I'm speaking for Brian too, for the incredible, remarkable people that make up MWR Financial. But I'm telling you, it is time to take that to the next level, because you have a comp plan that's worthy of it. You have an industry that's worthy of it. You have a company that's worthy of your best effort. Make 2023, as we go into it, but it starts now, your career best year. That's what I want to see for you. Have your career best year. When everybody else is going down, you're going up. And guess what will happen? People will then start coming to you more and more and more. It just success begets success, because they'll say, wow, I saw you hung in there. You've been in there. You've been doing that for a while, and you're really having success, and they're struggling. They'll come and take a look, and then you'll be able to help them. That's what God has in mind. He knows what we're doing. So they'll come and take a look. You got to stay focused. You got to be that stalwart to just stay in there no matter what, and just keep building. Oh, I'm telling you.
Amen.
Right. Amen. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, we've kept everybody on here long enough. And, and I just want to say, one, how much I appreciate everybody sticking around. And you can tell that the directors in this company that are serious, listen, this is a long live, guys. Yeah. Most people's attention span these days is about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. And you guys stuck around for over an hour. And that says so much about you, about your character, and about your willingness and desire to be able to want to learn and to do better, and to be able to share things, that can make a difference in people's lives. And so I just want to commend you guys. Thank you very much. Love you guys a bunch. I greatly appreciate everything you do to help us spread this message. And we've still got a lot of work to do, guys, but we're up for it. We're up for it. I hope you are too. So with that said, have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Let's knock it out of the park. And if you need anything from us, obviously, we're here for you. All right. Love you guys. See you. Bye-bye. See you, Gerald. Bye, Dom.
Bye. See you.